Hello and welcome back to the Studio I YouTube channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today we are going to be changing your life, or at least in the next coming 3 months we are. I want to give you my strategy for creating your dream life. This video is heavily based on my Dream Life coaching program, and I will talk a little bit more about it at the end. If you are stuck in a rut, or you don't know where you want to go with your life, or you know that you want change, then this video is for you. Over the course of 13 weeks, you can completely change your life, but you have to commit. If you commit to it, you can change your life over the upcoming 3 months. You have 13 weeks to completely transform who you are and in what direction your life is going. We're both going to be going fast and slow. So in the beginning of this process, you're going to take your time. You're going to figure out who you are, where you want to go, and then by the end, we're going to accelerate the process a little bit. So let's start with week 1. You are going to dive deep into who you are. We're looking at who you are today, but also discover things about yourself that you might not have known yet. The first thing we're going to be looking at is your values, because if you can create a life that is in line with your values, it is going to be so much more fulfilling, because your values are who you are deep down to your core. And if your life follows those core beliefs, that will make sure that everything you do feels incredibly fulfilling. I have some content where I dive deeper into how you can figure out your values, so I will leave it linked down below. You're also going to look at your strengths and your weaknesses, not to feel bad about yourself, not to know where you should improve your life, but mainly because we want to look at things that we want to be doing and the things that we want to be avoiding. You will feel your best if you're playing into your strengths. Weaknesses is something that everybody has. And while it is okay to want to improve some things here and there, it isn't the point of this video or these 3 months to eliminate your weaknesses altogether. A better strategy is to accept your weaknesses and hone in on the things that you are good at so you can become excellent. There will always be somebody else who can do it better than you can. So don't waste your time on those things and focus on your strengths. In the second week, you're going to figure out where you want to go. Think about your big dreams and your desires. Dive into those things that you have always wanted to do. With that, who do you want to be? What kind of a personality do you want to have? How do you want to show up in the world? What does that ideal version, that coolest version of you, the version that you can completely support and love, what does that version of you look like? And if you put all of that together, you can create a vision. I have a free download for this, where you can write out your whole entire vision. I will leave it in the description box down below. What you're going to be doing is looking at each and every area of your life, and you're going to write down what you want it to look like. How do you want it to look? How do you want it to feel? What do you want to be doing? You're going to create your vision on a 3-year basis, because this allows you to really dream. It doesn't mean you have to wait 3 years for this to come to life. It allows for a realistic time frame as to when you can achieve these things. If that feels like too far in the future for you, you can always adapt to a year, 2 years, or if that feels too close, to 5 or 10. But that 3 years I find is a really good sweet spot for not too close that you can't achieve a lot, but not too far that it feels unrealistic as well. In week 3, we are going to completely design a roadmap on how to get to that life. Take your vision and look at those areas. What are the goals you need to achieve in order to get to those areas? In order to make that vision come to life, you will have to do certain things. If you want to buy a house, you will have to save up a certain amount of money. If you want to run a successful business, you will have to do certain things like starting that business in order to get to that point. If you have written down all of those to-dos and all of those steps that you need in order to get to your dream life, that are your goals. Once you have all of those goals, we are going to break these bitches down. And you're going to keep on breaking them down until you have daily action, until you end up with actions so small, with the goals so small that you can make habits out of them. And then there's an important difference to make between linear goals and mountain goals. Linear goals are like getting your degree. You need to pass your first year, your second year, your third year, and then at the end you get your degree. Mountain goals are a little more complicated. It's like starting a business. There's a million things that you need to do and a million things that you need to achieve that don't necessarily follow after one or the other. Here I suggest to make routines so that you have some of these habits together, or to start with the things that you actually enjoy the most or the things that would have the biggest impact. It's however you prefer, but just make sure that you're not putting all your focus into one area of the mountain instead of trying to do a little bit of everything that will actually push you forward. From week 4, we're going to start implementing these habits. I've talked about it before on this channel that every month I like to implement 5 new habits. For this 3-month transformation, I put it on every 3 weeks we can implement new habits. Pick 5 habits that you're going to implement from week 4 on, and make sure that these aren't too big of a habits that will get you demotivated. And I would suggest picking habits that focus on your mindset first, because the most important thing in changing your life is changing your mindset. And this can be by doing and proving to your brain that you can actually do things and changing your mindset that way, or it can be that you put focus on journaling and that you're actually actively changing your mindset. Whatever works best for the type of person that you are. You're going to implement new habits in week 4, you're going to implement new habits in week 7, and then you're going to implement new habits in week 10 of 13. So at the end, you will have 15 new habits. Now this is a lot, and there is a lot of room for overwhelm and failure and giving up. Best tip that I can give to prevent that is to support the hell out of yourself, like you would do with a best friend who is going through an enormous life challenge. Because that's what you're doing to yourself. This is a huge life transformation. So hold yourself accountable and support yourself at the same time. Now, how do you do that? Weekly check-ins are a great tool to keep yourself accountable and to support yourself. Every week, you're going to ask yourself 2 questions. What is working? Why is it working? So figure out what it is that makes this habit stick and that makes this thing feel great. What is not working and why is that? What can you do differently in order to make it work? And then ask yourself, where do you need more support? How can you provide yourself with more support? That can be by adding in more rest, by asking for help from somebody else, but make sure that you're always checking in with yourself to see what you need to be able to keep moving forward. That might sometimes be taking a step back. That might be scrapping a habit and replacing it by another one. Make sure that you are incredibly self-aware through this process, because that is the key to changing your life. That is the key to success. There you have it, the perfect plan to changing your life in 3 months. This is heavily based on my Dream Life coaching program. I'm opening that program back up. It goes a lot more in depth than this video does. There's a lot more parts to it, but I'm not gonna give away all my information because then there's no need for the course anymore. If you are interested in this, you have 2 options. I have an ebook that I sell for just 15 euros that you can find in the description box, where you can find all of these steps at your own pace in a workbook. But I'm also opening the coaching program back up soon, and you can add yourself to the waitlist if that is something that you're interested in. In this coaching program, I am going to go through all these steps with you, but we're also going to be working on mindset, on fear of failure, on limiting beliefs. We're going to dive much deeper into the topics that I talked about today, and all of that in a support group of 30 people. So there will be group sessions where you can motivate and learn from each other, where you have the potential of making new friends. but there will also be one-on-one sessions with me where you can talk through your problems that you might be facing right now. There will be live sessions for those weekly check-ins. We can help and support each other. There will be journaling and planning sessions every single Sunday. It is just going to be one of the most transformative and wholesome and energetic coaching programs and groups that you can imagine. So if it is something that you really want to partake in, put yourself on the wait list. I will be around a month-ish before I open up the program. I hope I will see you there. If not, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out the ebook if you prefer doing it at your own pace. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more daily inspiration. And I will see you next time. Toodaloo!